Well, hello, everyone. As he said, my name is Randy Swaim, and I'm with East Coast CAD CAM. And we have been developing CAD and CAM software for well over 30 years. So we're on our third generation, I believe it is, of the CAD CAM software. And I'm here today to introduce you to our design to fabrication workflow, which has the advances to really leverage the stakeholders in the project, such as owners and the GCs, to satisfy their deliverable requirements to deliver a product in Revit. We still feel that the ideal product to draw in is in AutoCAD MEP. So we go in and we draw in AutoCAD MEP, but then we can push that file back to Revit and make it native Revit objects, including the equipment and all the duct accessories that go with it. So all of that comes right back into the Revit as the Revit families. We have the flexibility to serve a wide range of many industries, and we've been successful in doing this to produce powerful software solutions by integrating and listening to our customers. And we give them the ability to detail and bid the way they're used to doing it with their own well-established business practices. After analyzing the emerging trends in design to construction, we can now, we can also take these Revit models and we can bring those into AutoCAD MEP, assigning real manufacturer content and real specifications to that as it's imported into AutoCAD MEP. Apply all the hanger information, pick up all your trimble points, and then send that directly back into Revit to make it a Revit deliverable or an AutoCAD MEP deliverable, whichever suits the purpose there. We introduced the design to fabrication about 6 years ago. And since it's been making improvements on that left and right. But we're able to go through there and apply specs and content and be able to give you the coordination and the fabrication information in a much more timely fashion and allow the contractor to not have to spend so much time redesigning or redrawing the model. We'll use as much of that engineering model as possible by applying the specs to that. It also gives you the ability to work in your standard preferred platform. So if you prefer to work in AutoCAD MEP, you can do all your work in there and then push that back out to the Revit model. It can also be pushed back out to different estimating systems and can be used in some of your back office software to help you control your inventory, etc. We look to the contractor to identify for us where to use the tools and when to use the tools and the best times to use the tools. So again, by listening to the contractors out there, that's where we've been able to excel into this market. We also have in the background a platform-independent Microsoft SQL Server database. And we designed it that way so that we could, when we do feel that Revit is ready, we'll be able to have all of the data already ready to move into Revit natively and draw in Revit. As we feel right now, we don't think it's quite there yet, so we still prefer drawing in AutoCAD MEP. We apply content of real manufacturers' data, so we apply real fittings for the pipe industry. We know the makeup of every one of those fittings. In the ductwork, we apply specifications and manufacturer's defaults so the geometry of that fitting can be completely different than how it was drawn in Revit. If I get an engineering drawing that was done in Revit, they might not have any throat on the elbow, a square elbow. As I bring it into AutoCAD MEP, I've got it set up with my standards. It'll add the throat, shrink the duct in between, do whatever's necessary to make it adhere to my standards. We take completed, fully coordinated drawings back into Revit, and we add the East Coast CAD and put it, like I said, right back into Revit. The data is both geometric and dimensionally correct, and we'll go ahead and give you all different types of reports out of the system as well. So if I come back in here and I look, here is an example of that ductwork being pushed back into that Revit model, and it goes in at the correct level, the correct elevation. We use a revision tracker to help find out what revisions that we are putting into the model. So if you've got several revisions, it'll keep track with your latest revisions for you. We've also added some additional tools in here to where we can come through here and we have schedules. We have automatic tagging built into this, so it's going to go ahead and annotate your ductwork or your piping with the necessary annotations that you've selected on there. Also, all different types of schedules to go ahead and collect the data out of the model. And again, like I said, take that right back into an estimating system. And any number of drawings can be imported into the Revit model, either as they are completed or we can wait until the entire project is complete and bring them in that way. But I'd like to kind of wrap up by saying, you know, many of you may know people that could use this software, and I'd love to have you get in touch with me and give you some more information on it. Thank you.